Hello everyone. I have some books for you to show you, and they are on my Etsy now as well. So, to start with, I made another series of My Irish summer books. I think this is the fourth year that I made them, but they are inspired by the river here, River Shannon, because well, I like the river, but we took a boat trip only for 3 hours, I think, and it was the best. It was really great experience, and I just got really inspired by the river, and so that's how I themed the My Irish Summer series this year. And there is one difference: the other ones had three big signatures, and this time they have four. And I made different format as well. So let's get into it. I have 9 books altogether, and I will show you the My Irish Summer first, the classic design, how I usually make them. So we have this this cover, which is, it's A5 book. It's 21 by 15 centimeters, and it has this shorter cover, which I will explain. So there are dragonflies and other waterflies, river flies. So I rusted this cotton fabric, and then I eco-printed phragmites, which are the grasses that grow in the river here. So that's the phragmites. They usually bloom purple and they print beautiful green. So this is an eco print on cotton, and they came out really well. I am not an eco printer, and I just do it as part of my art and not solely eco printing. So I'm very pleased with the result this year. I must have done something right. And then I embellished with this rusted cheesecloth and stitched through, and I embroidered these flies and dragonflies, all different colors, with these multicolored threads, which are quite interesting. And yes, so there is 4 signatures, and I made buttons. I made quite few things. Oh, I have one in my hair, which I might put on Etsy shop as well. I currently have them in a shop for dreadlocks, for accessories. I made accessories for dreadlocks. This is how you put your hair in here, and then you secure it like that. So with this idea, that's not obviously my idea, but it's my design, I made also some buttons which I used for my new books. So this is beautiful wooden button. I have some seasoned wood in my garden, which is durable and really nice for woodwork. And this is rusted cotton tie, which you just put around the button to secure it. Obviously it's long, so you can bulk the book up. So now this idea is, this is the map of the River Shannon with its lakes and estuaries. We have copper fish that I cut out of copper and aged. So I put the patina on it, so it's got the blue patina. Here is a print gel print on rusted cotton of some Queen's Anne's lace or wild carrot, I don't know what it's called. This is canvas. I'm just gonna close the door. And so this is embroidered map. This is a pocket there and pocket here. This is a file folder. We have onion skin paper, another eco print, original eco print of Fragmite, and this paper always splits into two when it's wet. So that's, yeah, so you can use all the sides really, even though that used to be one paper. Here I got really vintage book from of animals. I think it's over 100, maybe 100, over 120 years old. Buffons, nature, natural history maybe, I don't know, it's so old and the pages are really fragile, but I love it, so I included pages in it, in these books. Coffee dyed papers. Now all book pages are original as always. We have moths. I themed it for the river and the nature around me. So we have plants and beetles. This is an envelope, so you can put something in there. And this is my own lino print, lino cut. Here is some write up vintage page about where birds live around Europe. Snails, garden snails and river snails. Graph paper. I got more the grid music paper that I get from Czech Republic because it's different to normal music paper. It's got grid and the music lines. Green paper. This is lovely to write on with fountain pen. That's why I don't dye it because it would damage the surface. So that's nice. Moths. And then I picked fish for because of the river theme. So this is the Buffon's natural history book again, and the other side of the Fragmite eco print, and the other side of the signature, so you can see the embroidery of the River Shannon. I embroidered through paper, so it's just some bits. Here is a dried specimen of some flowers which I picked at the Shannon. So I dried them and I ironed them into tissue paper with beeswax and then put them in this paper frame and sewn around them on a machine. And this is handmade paper, rag paper that I coffee dyed. Here is a little toque. Glassine paper, hand dyed. Beautiful dragonfly page. Graph paper, quite nice and thick. I got that in Czech Republic too. It seems to be better quality than what I can get here. Eco print with Fragmites and onion skins on paper. Here is some Aesop's fables. They were the book with the natural history. First was the natural history part, and then after that was Aesop's fables. And I like them, so I put them in there. And I love how the pages look and the little drawings. Very nice drawings. Some fish and ducks, vintage duck page. Another paper I got from the Czech Republic. This is an office paper, but I like the colors. So it's in Czech language. Drawing paper, Enid Holden paper, ceramic beads as always. Now here we have a little fabric pocket that I printed with seed head. So it's lots of flowers. Here is card from Czech game called Quartet with mushrooms. So I like that. So I included a card there. A Polaroid that I took of the river, of the plants, of the flowers next to the river this summer. So that's a little tag, and that's a pocket on eco-printed paper, and everything is stitched on a machine. This is a print on fabric, eco-print on fabric. So another different texture here. I love how the grasses come out. This is the flower head of the grass, and that's the leaf. Love that. More handmade Indian rag paper, mulberry paper, a print of grasses. This is just sewed and printed brown paper. This print I made with printing ink, lino printing ink, straight from the grasses, inked up the grasses and pressed the paper on them. And I sewn it to tea-dyed glassine. Another specimen. This grows everywhere here, and it smells gorgeous. And I think it's a herb. It's edible. You can make creams, tea, whatever from it, and it's gorgeous. It blooms white. When it dries, it's a bit yellow. So another specimen in wax paper in a little paper frame on a telephone book page, vintage telephone book page. Again, different music paper with just lines, and then there is a blue line in between the five. Yeah. Beetle original book page, pink paper, and beautiful vintage bird book page on the chalky paper. Look at that tea. Just stunning. So this is a write-up about this bird, the dotterel. More vintage book pages with some local Irish plants. Textile piece, eco print, glassine paper, mulberry paper, and the back of the thread signature. So this is one piece, one eco printed piece, and this is an embroidery and print that I created. So it's like a fabric collage, different cheesecloths, different colors, and it reminds me of the flowers next to the river and the seed heads and everything, all the foliage. And this is French knots, so I embroidered that. This is made into a little pocket. I lined it as well. I printed some seed heads on the onion skin paper here. And we have very old Czech book page, botanical book page with grasses. Another print, grass print. More vintage book pages, small bird page. Another lino print, designed and made by me on an envelope. So it's a flip, painted, gessoed, printed. And the vintage book page with sorry, the violet, beautiful vintage print again. Oh, and we have another phone book page and another specimen. This is a grass that before it blooms in spring, I think people pick it, this grass, to make St. Bridget's crosses from. So it's the stems of the grass and they weave it together into a cross. So that's the grass, but in autumn now it's in bloom and it's the seed head from it in wax paper again. And the batik of a fish in a river. So I used the batik technique with the cotton fabric and wax. I lined it as well, and I embroidered some waves, and I embroidered the fish, and yeah, so it's made with batik technique, and the red, orangey red coral lining. And I will have to, as usually, tidy it all up because of the threads. So that's 4 signature in this book, and loads of textile work and different textile techniques, so, and printing. So here we are, this is it. We have another one here with these. So you have dragonfly, you have a fly, and you have another dragonfly on the fragmite printed fabric. You have very similar, here we have birds, you have very similar inside. Obviously none of the book pages repeat, or none of the art repeat. They are similar, but they are not the same because they are original works. So, you know, different flowers, different book pages, slightly different artwork. Here we have this one. Polaroids are original. So see, this one is different. We have this bird, guillemot, but we have the same types of pages. Now this one has a fern, slightly different colors, slightly different color scheme. So let's see. Now you have this one. So there you go. And we have 6 of these. So we have, this one has a bigger button. There is no reason for that. Some have smaller, some have bigger. Oh, and some, you can see, have turquoise lining. 2 have red and 4 have turquoise. And different fish, but similar. So that's 4. 5. This one has red. This one has a beautiful purple and pink dragonfly. This one has a big button and green and brown and blue. And now I have 3 of these big ones. So let me explain what's going on here. So we have 7 signatures. It's 22 centimeters this way and 15 or 16 this way. 22 centimeters long, 16 centimeters tall, and 7 signatures, round spine. And we have eco-printed, rusted, slightly rusted fabric, cotton, eco-printed with fragmites again, embroidered with dragonflies, and we have these copper fish. So we have carp, and I don't really know. They are based on real fish. I just don't remember their names. And we have embroidery of a big section of the Shannon here. That's the section of the Shannon, that's what it looks like, that flows through my town. Maybe we could move it a bit. I don't know. How is the light? So, and big button here. So, there. And I don't know what's going on here. Right, and we have this blue lining and big hand embroidery, well, hand and machine embroidered piece with 3 plants and loads of knots and loads of textures and different fabrics, and some grasses. This is from Czech botanical book, and loads of pages. So let's get into it. This is a vintage map, very old, beautiful vintage map of Scotland. I picked maps from this kind of area of the world, since it's about the plants and animals that live here. Pink page, ducks. So I themed everything to the river, hopefully. Print on handmade paper. This is the rack paper again. This is it as well. 1 signature. Well, actually no. Yeah, this is the first signature. And glassine paper that I hand dyed. And here we have another Polaroid, which has yellow flowers on it, and more eco-printed papers. So we have this one that I sewn around. So this is the end of first signature, this is the beginning of second. Another Polaroid of the fragmites. So this is the grasses that are printed on here. Glassine paper printed, hand dyed, bees, vintage book page of bees, graph paper, vintage Czech botanical paper, office paper green, vintage book page birds, snails, garden snails, and snails that live around this part of the world. Oh, beautiful butterflies. They sort of remind me of this summer too, because we raised some butterflies. We got caterpillars outside, and in 3 weeks they cocooned, and then they were born. We got 5 caterpillars and 4 became butterflies. So that was successful, I think, and we let them out, and it was really great experience watching them go through the stages. And when I went to Czech Republic, I saw this one and this one in my sister's garden. I didn't see them in Ireland, but they live in Czech. And yeah, this is signature number 3. I made a big lino print with loads of dragonflies and the river water flies. So I made one big piece, and this is it, one big long piece for this, to make this signature with, this signature cover with. So this is one piece, and this is my own original drawing with Indian ink on handmade paper. I think it's a grasshopper, flying grasshopper. Onion skin paper, some water loving, well, damp loving plants. I suppose all plants are water loving, but I mean this one's like damp. Birds. Another of the fables. And here we have the vintage beautiful pages again, and ceramic beads in colors of the covers, of course. So all the same papers, vintage book page with the bee, all the papers that are in the other journals too that I showed, just that way, horizontal way, and more art and more pages because more signatures, so bigger books, much bigger books. This is a gel print on handmade paper, mulberry paper, graph paper, vintage book page with Czech language, some water plants that live in rivers, another print on handmade paper and coffee dyeing, another, and this one is the bird vintage page. So we have snipe. I love these. Don't have many left. Here is mushroom playing card and envelope with my stamp that I made. And this is from the Buffon's vintage book about natural history. It's so fragile that I glued it to this book, to this phone book page, and sewn around it, so I made it into this kind of piece. Graph paper, coffee dyed, mulberry paper. Here we have the other side of this signature. So we have print on paper this side, and we have print on fabric this side, made into a pocket, cotton. So here we have, of course, dried flowers as well. So here we have these, some seed heads and some flowers in wax paper, on handmade paper again. Here is a print of my lino cut beetles on onion skin paper, some eco print paper, Buffon's history, beetles. I love that page with the beetles, so old, so pretty. Enid Holden. Oh, these grow everywhere. Blackberries, absolutely everywhere. We eat so many of them. These moths, these vintage moths, love them. So now this one is the grass again that I said they use for St. Bridget's crosses. I made that into a little tag. So this is the real specimen, and this is it printed with ink. This one I printed here, and this is a little tag that I made from a vintage page with this this watergrass. You know what they are, the big someone calls them cattails. So I put that here with the other grasses. It's a little tag, and I stitched all around. And here is the lino again print with the dragonflies on the onion skin paper. And this is a fabric pocket made with the eco print of the Phragmites. Lots of stitching everywhere. Birds. We have September Enid Holden title page. Some Czech book description of fish and frog. And here is the rest of the grass print. And here is a batik piece with the fish and waves. The fish is embroidered. That's a big pocket here and here. Fish, freshwater fish, bird eggs and vintage bird book page, beetle envelope sewn onto a phone book page, mulberry paper, snails, Czech botanical book page here, very thick music paper. Here is the other side of the bird page. So we have these vintage bird prints. And on the other side of this signature is another big pocket because it's a one piece. And another fish, carp this time. So this is the front. This is the back. Now we have this one, the front, and the back. And same again inside. Different pieces. Same but different art. This one has, I picked river grasses for this, local grasses for this page to sew on here on the print. And this grass is actually this one in a book. And then you have the last one. It's got a little decoration on the button, a little stamping, and it's got big fish and small fish. And this one in the back. And this is the fragment, what I eco print. So this grass in a book is this. So that's it. I'll put all these on Etsy. They should be on Etsy when you see them. You can see, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. The fish are attached with French knots. So there is little decorative holes in them and they are stitched through with French knots. And yeah, so thank you for watching and I hope you liked it. Bye.